Usually when we talk about a map, there's a strict boundary.
Right, yeah, a set of rules.
Exactly. You look at a map of a city, and the river is the blue line, the highway is the red line. The cartographer just points and says, there it is.
It's clean.
It's clean, it's categorized, and honestly, it makes us feel oriented. But what happens when someone attempts to map your actual soul onto a spreadsheet?
Well, usually chaos.
Total chaos. But today, we're doing a deep dive into a document that completely shatters standard cartography. It's a single, visually overwhelming matrix titled 14 Steps Stairway to Heaven.
And it is a lot to take in.
Oh, it's massive. And if you're the kind of person who loves finding those hidden, almost invisible threads that connect seemingly unrelated fields of human knowledge this deep dive is going to be your absolute playground.
It really is. Because this isn't just a list we're looking at.
No, someone out there has literally attempted to unify Eastern spiritual traditions, specifically the chakras, with Western esotericism, like tarot and astrology.
Which is an ambitious undertaking on its own.
Yeah. Right. But then they overlaid all of that onto Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, assigned incredibly complex sacred geometry to every single stage. And just to push it completely over the edge, they wove a mathematical, chromatic, musical scale through the whole thing.
It is, it's the absolute definition of a cosmic cartographer's impossible task.
Yeah.
When you first glance at this one-page document, it basically looks like a collision of every mystical and scientific system ever conceived.
It looks like a beautiful mess at first glance.
It does. But the genius of it, and really the reason we are spending an hour decoding it today, is the overarching architecture.
Right. It's not random.
Exactly. The creator isn't just throwing symbols at a wall. This is a highly deliberate mechanical progression. We are moving from absolute nothing at what they call step 0 all the way to everything at step 13.
So it's a full spectrum.
It is a blueprint of consciousness evolving, and every single column, so the math, the music, the mythology, they all act as a cross-check for the others.
Okay, I want to jump right into the starting line, or rather, I guess, the starting void.
The perfect place to start.
Let's look at how this creator visualizes the very birth of reality well before we even get into the human body, because the chart literally starts at step 0.
Right, step 0.
The text reads, nothing, everything. And the visual is just the starry, deep space.
It's very evocative.
Yeah, and we have the tarot's Fool card. The geometry is labeled simply the vacuum. And the hero's journey stage is the ordinary world.
Which sets the stage beautifully.
If I'm looking at this structurally, it's like a video game console before you even press start, The screen is glowing, the potential is there, but no actual code has been executed yet.
So I see why you'd use the video game analogy, but I think it actually falls a bit short.
Oh, really? How so?
Because a video game implies a pre-written code, right? Like someone already programmed the boundaries.
Okay, fair point.
The vacuum of step 0 isn't coded yet at all. It's more like the raw electricity powering the monitor.
Ah.
In theoretical physics, a true quantum vacuum isn't just an empty box. It is this bubbling soup of virtual particles and infinite potential energy.
So it's active, not passive.
Exactly. It is the womb of creation. And that maps flawlessly onto the tarot card chosen here, which is the Fool.
Because the Fool is usually numbered 0, right?
Yes. In the major arcana, the Fool isn't numbered 1, it's numbered 0.
Right.
The Fool is the unformed soul stepping off a cliff into the unknown with absolute innocence. It's carrying 0 baggage and 0 history.
Which maps directly to Campbell's ordinary world.
Precisely.
It's the baseline equilibrium. There's no conflict yet because there are literally no boundaries.
Not at all.
But, you can't have a journey without a boundary. Which brings us to step 1.
The spark.
The ignition. Right. The visual changes to a golden spiral. The geometry is the point. The hero's journey is the call to adventure. And our hidden musical scale officially begins on the root note, C.
The very first note.
But here is where I really need to push back on the creator's choices.
Oh, where are they losing you?
Well, they assign the astrology column to Aries, which totally makes sense. It's the fiery first sign of the zodiac.
Sure.
But then they assign the tarot column to the emperor.
Ah, I see where you're going with this.
Right. If this is the big bang of the narrative, the very first spark of action, why use the emperor?
It seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, he's the guy sitting on a stone throne. He represents rigid rules, authority, and structure. Why not a dynamic card like the magician?
So that perceived contradiction is actually the secret to understanding this entire system.
Okay, well, lay it on me.
Think about the geometry the creator paired with the emperor. They paired it with the point.
Right, just a single dot.
Yes. When you exist in a vacuum step zero, there is no up, no down, no left, no right. It's infinite.
It's just void.
Exactly. To create a universe, or even just to start any meaningful journey in your own life, you have to make a choice.
You have to pick a direction.
You have to establish a singular point of reference. You have to essentially say, here.
And I guess the moment you say here, you've created a limit.
You've created a law. The emperor is the ultimate symbol of foundational law.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A universe cannot expand into a golden spiral without gravity, without thermodynamics and mathematics.
So the emperor isn't just a bossy guy on a throne.
No, the emperor represents the imposition of those first unyielding parameters onto the infinite void.
That makes so much sense.
The call to adventure isn't just about grabbing a sword and running out the door, right? It's reality saying, we are doing this, and these are the absolute laws of physics you will obey.
Wow.
The universe hums its very first frequency, that pure C note, but it does so within a defined, rigid structure.
So the emperor isn't a buzzkill at all. He's the scaffolding that allows the golden spiral to even exist in the first place. I love that.
It's a really beautiful synthesis.
But you can't have a story with just one point. That's stagnation.
Right. A single point goes nowhere.
So the chart moves us along to step 2. The line, 2 ends.
The crucial split.
Yeah, and the visual is suddenly planet Earth. The geometry is the Vesica Pisces. The tarot card is the Hierophant.
Lots of heavy symbols here.
Seriously. The astrology is Taurus, which is an earth sign. The musical note shifts to C sharp. And the hero's journey stage is the refusal of the call.
This step is packed with meaning.
Let's unpack the Vesica Pisces first, because that geometry feels crucial to why this step is so heavy.
It absolutely is. It is the mathematical bridge between 1 and 2.
How so?
Well, if you have the point from step 1 and you duplicate it, you now have 2 centers.
Okay, I'm picturing that.
If you draw a circle around each center so that the edge of one circle touches the exact center of the other, they overlap.
Like a Venn diagram.
Exactly like a Venn diagram. That almond shape created in the middle, the intersection, that is the Vesica Pisces.
Got it.
It is the geometric portal through which the abstract unity of the cosmos officially splits into physical duality.
So positive and negative, light and dark.
Male and female, good and evil.
And that separation has to be terrifying.
It's traumatic. Put yourself in the position of the soul, or the fool, making this journey.
Okay.
You've just come from the infinite, unburdened potential of the vacuum. Now suddenly you are thrust into a world of intense friction.
You realize you are separate.
Yes, you realize I am me and you are not me. There is pain, there is isolation, there is gravity.
Which perfectly explains why the hero's journey stage right here is the refusal of the call.
Exactly.
Entering physical reality is inherently traumatic. The hero looks at the sheer density of planet Earth, feels the heavy, stubborn energy of Taurus, and just says, no thanks, I want to go back to the vacuum.
Right, and consider the tarot card they chose for this step, the Hierophant.
Remind me what the Hierophant usually represents.
Traditionally, the Hierophant represents institutional dogma, societal expectations, and their rigid traditions of the material world.
So it's all the rules of society pressing down on you.
Exactly. It's the weighty reality of physical incarnation demanding conformity. It's the very structure the hero fears engaging with. And listen to what happens in the music column.
Right, we were at C.
We've moved from the pure foundational C note to a C sharp. It's a minor second interval.
Which sounds super tense.
In music theory, that half step creates immediate, jarring dissonance. The tension of existence has officially arrived.
That dissonance is the perfect segue into the next phase of the chart. Because if step 2 is the terror of arriving in a dualistic physical world, steps 3 through 5 are all about building the machinery to survive it.
Yes, getting grounded.
The chart forces the hero out of abstract cosmic math and directly into the human biological form.
We enter the physical body.
Exactly. We are activating the lower physical chakras now. And this is where the creator's synthesis gets wildly practical.
It really does.
Let's look at step 3.
Yeah.
The chart labels this the root chakra.
The foundation.
The visual is a golden Buddha. The geometry is listed as tricheta tetraeder.
2 very specific shapes.
Yeah. The tarot card is the lovers. The astrology is Gemini. The musical note resolves to D. And the hero's journey is meeting with the mentor.
A lot to unpack there.
So here's my question. I have always been taught that the root chakra, right at the base of the spine, is purely about bare bones survival, like food, water, shelter.
That's the standard interpretation, yes.
But this chart pairs it with the lovers, the Gemini twins, and meeting with the mentor.
Right.
How does pure physical survival connect to romance or mentorship?
Well, I'd argue it's even more fundamental than that. This is a highly sophisticated sociological interpretation of human survival.
What do you mean by sociological?
Think about how human beings actually survive in the wild.
Right.
We don't have thick hides. We don't have sharp claws.
We're pretty squishy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We survive through cooperation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If we connect this back to the terror of step 2, the agonizing realization of duality and isolation, how do you cure that fear?
You form a bond.
You form a bond. You find someone else in the terrifying wilderness.
That makes total sense.
Yes. Look at the geometry here. The triqueta, which is 3 interlocking loops, and the tetraeder, or tetrahedron.
Right. What's a tetrahedron again?
Let's look at it. It is a pyramid with a triangular base. It is the absolute simplest 3-dimensional shape possible.
Okay.
You cannot enclose 3-dimensional space with fewer than 4 points.
So it's the minimum requirement for a 3D object.
Exactly. It represents the minimum viable boundary to protect something fragile. And in human terms, that boundary is your tribe.
Wow. So the lovers in tarot.
The lovers isn't just about romantic love here. It's about the profound choice to bind yourself to another person, to find harmony between opposing forces.
And Gemini fits right into that.
Yes, Gemini represents communication, the mirroring of the self in another.
This is a huge aha moment for me, because survival isn't just about building a physical bunker and hoarding food. It's realizing you need allies. The root chakra is literally your social safety net.
That is exactly it. And who is the ultimate early ally in Campbell's narrative structure?
The mentor.
The mentor. The mentor provides the psychological grounding and the basic tools necessary for the hero to survive.
Right, Obi-Wan giving Luke the lightsaber.
Perfect example. Meeting the mentor resolves the dissonance of the C-sharp from the previous step. The mentor basically says, yes, the world is dangerous, but you are not alone.
And that connection is the root chakra anchoring into the earth.
Yes. The musical tension literally resolves into a full, resonant, whole step D note.
But safety breeds stagnation.
It does. We can't stay there.
Right. Biologically, what happens the moment an organism is secure and fed? It multiplies, it expands, it hungers for more.
To drive for life.
And that relentless outward drive forces us up the spine to step 4, sacral chakra procreation.
A very active phase.
The visual here is visceral,
Mm-hmm.
a baby breastfeeding. The geometry is a 4-leaf beech nut shell.
In organic shape this time.
Yeah, that's different. The tarot card is the chariot. The astrology is Cancer. The musical note pushes to D sharp. And the hero's journey is crossing the first threshold.
We have moved into the lower abdomen, which is the universally recognized center of raw biological drive and creativity.
It's all about making things.
The visual of the infant feeding is the purest representation of the urge for life and growth. It is forward momentum without any intellectual filtering.
And that maps to the tarot's chariot card perfectly.
It really does.
Because the chariot isn't about careful planning, right? It's about raw willpower.
Yes, it's about yoking opposing forces, usually depicted as 2 sphinxes or horses, pulling the chariot and driving them aggressively forward.
So an infant's biological imperative to feed and grow is essentially the chariot energy at its most primal, unfiltered level.
Exactly. And notice the geometry the creator selected here. The 4-leaf beech nut shell.
Right. You pointed out earlier that it's organic.
Yes, unlike the abstract platonic solids we've seen so far, this is a biological shape.
Why a beech nut shell, though?
Well, a beech nut shell is a protective casing that eventually splits open to release the seed inside.
Oh, wow.
It is the literal mechanics of birth. This is why it perfectly aligns with crossing the first threshold.
You're leaving the shell.
The hero cannot stay in the womb or under the mentor's protection forever. The sheer biological imperative to exist forces the hero out of the shell, over the threshold, and into the active field of play.
It's the absolute point of no return.
Yes.
And the music reflects that intense effort. Stepping up to D sharp, we are pushing.
Building tension again.
And that striving crystallizes at step 5. Navel chakra Tantien.
We're moving up.
The visual is Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. The geometry is the pentagram. The tarot card is strength.
Classic symbols of human power.
The astrology is Leo, the note is E, and the hero's journey is Threshold Guardian.
We've officially arrived at the human ego.
Let's talk about the Tantien for a second.
Sure. The Tantian, which is located just below the navel, is viewed in Eastern martial arts as the absolute seat of personal power and individual will.
So it's where we get our drive.
Yes, we've secured our survival, we've harnessed our biological drive to grow, and now we forge an identity. We stand up and say, I am.
Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man is the ultimate visual for this.
It really is.
It's the idealized human form, standing spread eagle, dominating the geometry of the square and the circle.
Very confident.
It's the physical vessel, fully realized and incredibly proud of itself, which aligns completely with Leo, the lion, the astrological sign of pride, courage, and self-expression.
And the pentagram, the five-pointed star, has historically been the occult symbol of the human microcosm. You know, a head, two arms, two legs.
So the ego is fully online and formed.
It is. But this raises a critical psychological issue.
Of course it does.
The moment you assert your individual ego, the moment you roar like the Leo, what does the universe do?
It pushes back. It tests you.
Exactly. You encounter the threshold guardian.
Right.
In mythic structures, the guardian isn't just some external monster blocking a door. It is very often a projection of the hero's own unrefined ego, their own hubris.
So you're fighting yourself.
Yes. Look at the tarot card here. Strength.
Okay.
If you look at the traditional Rider-Waite artwork for strength, it doesn't show a muscular warrior swinging a sword at a beast.
No, it shows a woman, right?
It shows a serene woman gently closing the jaws of a lion.
Oh, wow. She's taming the beast, not killing it.
She is mastering her own primal nature. To pass the threshold guardian, the hero must prove that their newly formed human ego actually serves a higher purpose, rather than just being blind, destructive selfishness.
You have to tame your own inner Leo.
Exactly. You have to prove the Vitruvian Man isn't just a biological machine, but a vessel truly capable of consciousness.
Which brings us to a massive transition in the chart. We're moving into section 3, the internal crucible.
The real work begins.
This covers steps 6 through 8. The physical foundation is built, the ego is online, but now the hero has to actually interact with society and face their own internal shadows.
We are leaving the lower body.
Right, and entering the emotional and expressive centers.
The game totally changes here.
Yeah.
We've established I am. Now the question becomes, who am I in relation to everyone else?
Let's look at step 6. The chart actually still labels this the solar plexus chakra, which implies a bit of an overlapping transition zone.
Yes, it bridges the gap.
The visual is the classic theater drama masks comedy and tragedy. The geometry is the icosahedron. The tarot card is the hermit.
An interesting mix.
The astrology is Virgo. The musical note is F. And the hero's journey is tests, allies, and enemies.
Very social.
If I'm translating this to daily life for you listening, this is entering the workforce, this is dating, navigating friendships. It's the absolute drama of everyday life.
It is the ego entering the social marketplace.
Perfect way to put it.
The drama masks perfectly encapsulate the personas we wear and the constant emotional turbulence of interacting with other egos.
Which is exhausting.
Right, and Joseph Campbell calls this tests, allies, and enemies.
Classic storytelling trope.
The hero goes into the local tavern, starts a fight, makes a friend, and learns the local customs. It's messy, it's practical, and it's highly emotional.
But here's the curveball.
Okay.
If the hero is out in the tavern mingling and fighting, why is the tarot card the hermit?
It seems like a clash.
Yeah. The hermit is the archetype of isolation. He's the old man who walks away from the village to be totally alone on a mountain with his lantern.
Right.
It feels like a total contradiction to the social drama of the masks.
It's not a contradiction, though. It's a prescription.
A prescription.
This is where the creator's mapping is just brilliant. Look at Virgo, the astrological sign here.
Okay, Virgo.
Virgo is the sign of analysis, digestion, and meticulous categorization.
We like to organize things.
Exactly. If you are constantly out there engaging in the drama of step 6, fighting battles, making allies, wearing the comedy and tragedy masks, but you never schedule hermit time to actually process what it all means, you're just spinning your wheel.
You're just reacting.
Yes, you become a victim of your own emotions.
So the hermit represents the necessary digestion of social experience.
Consider the geometry, the icosahedron.
What is that exactly?
It is a 20-sided platonic solid historically associated with the element of water.
Okay, water usually means emotion.
Yes, it represents the fluid, complex nature of human emotion. To navigate a 20-sided emotional reality, you must retreat.
You can't just power through it.
No, you take your lantern, you go inward, and you analyze the data. The hermit is the realization that external drama is ultimately just a reflection of your internal state.
This is a huge, actionable takeaway for anyone listening right now. If your life feels like nonstop drama masks, your chart is basically out of balance.
You're missing the crucial step.
You are missing your hermit phase, and you
Ah.
desperately need that processing time because of what's coming next.
The stakes get higher.
Step 7, heart chakra family. The visual is a group of people holding hands around a glowing center. The geometry is a Vajra.
An intense symbol.
The tarot card is Justice. The astrology is Libra. The musical note introduces tension again at F sharp, and the hero's journey is the approach to the innermost cave.
It's no accident the creator placed the heart chakra right at the fulcrum of this entire system.
Oh, because it's step 7 out of 13.
Dead center. It is the absolute bridge between the animalistic lower chakras and the divine upper chakras.
A turning point.
And when you look at the overlapping symbols of Libra in the astrology column, the Justice card in tarot, the theme is aggressively clear.
What's the theme?
It's about the scales. It is about absolute equilibrium.
But pop culture usually treats the heart chakra as soft.
Very soft, yeah.
It's all love, light, forgiveness, warm fuzzies. But the symbols here are sharp.
Bro, I'm compromised.
Justice carries a literal sword, and the geometry is the Vajra. I had to look this up, and it's intense.
It is. The Vajra is a profoundly potent symbol from Hindu and Buddhist traditions.
What does it mean?
The word translates to both thunderbolt and diamond.
Diamond.
Yes, it represents a force that is completely indestructible and possesses absolute clarity.
So it's not soft at all.
No. The heart, in this esoteric mapping, isn't just about soft, squishy emotions. A truly open heart is a diamond. It is the indestructible, crystal-clear realization of universal interconnectedness.
That's why the visual is people holding hands.
Exactly. It's the family of humanity.
But achieving that diamond heart requires radical honesty.
Radical.
Which is why the hero's journey phase is the approach to the innermost cave.
Scary place to go.
Campbell says the innermost cave is where we store our deepest wounds, our unacknowledged grief, and our ultimate vulnerability.
You can't hide there.
No, you cannot approach that cave without the scales of justice. You have to literally weigh your own soul and admit your flaws.
And the musical note, the F sharp, provides the perfect sonic metaphor for this.
How so?
Well, it's a tritone away from our starting C.
The tritone, okay.
Historically, the tritone was called the devil in music because the dissonance is so severe, so demanding of resolution.
It makes you physically uncomfortable.
Yes. Standing at the threshold of your own heart, facing your shadows, creates ultimate psychological tension.
Which prepares us for the most violent transition on this entire map.
It is a massive leap.
Step 8. Throat chakra expression. The visual is a literal cross-section of a human throat and vocal cords glowing blue.
Very clinical.
The geometry is listed as the E8 structure. The tarot card is death.
It is.
The astrology is Scorpio, the musical note resolves to G, and the hero's journey is the ordeal.
The crucible itself.
I want to pause here because pairing the act of speaking the throat chakra with the tarot's death card and Campbell's ordeal seems wildly dramatic.
At first glance, yes.
But if you look at human behavior, it actually tracks. Think about the fear of public speaking.
Well, this is legendary.
It consistently ranks higher than the fear of actual death in surveys. People would literally rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy.
It's true.
This chart implies that truly expressing your authentic diamond heart voice is the ultimate death of the old self.
That is a profoundly accurate reading of the psychology here.
Really?
Yes. To speak your absolute unvarnished truth in a world governed by masks and illusions, which we saw back in step 6, is an act of annihilation.
You're destroying the facade.
The false ego you constructed to survive the lower chakras simply cannot survive the throat chakra. The moment you express your authentic self, that old identity is destroyed.
Wow.
That is the death card. It is not literal death. It is the shedding of the skin.
And Scorpio is the astrological sign of death, rebirth, and plunging into the absolute depths of what is hidden or taboo.
You are undergoing the ordeal. In the belly of the whale, the hero's old identity is burned away by their own vocal cords.
That's a powerful image.
But to truly understand why the throat chakra is given this supreme destructive and creative power, we have to look at the geometry the creator chose.
Right, the E8 structure.
Yes, the E8 structure.
This is where my brain completely stalled.
It's a tough one.
We left the triangles and squares way behind. What on earth is an E8 structure, and how does it relate to human vocal cords?
This is perhaps the most brilliant and esoteric leap the creator makes on the whole chart.
I'm ready.
E8 is not a simple shape. It is a concept from advanced mathematics and theoretical physics.
Okay, physics.
Specifically, it is an exceptionally complex 8-dimensional Lie group.
8-dimensional.
Yes. In the realm of unified field theory, some physicists have actually proposed that the E8 lattice could map the fundamental structure of all particles and forces in the entire universe.
Wait.
It is a geometric representation of how reality itself is woven together at the quantum level.
Let me get this straight. A geometric map of all quantum reality placed at the human throat.
Yes.
That is insane.
But consider the physics of that for a second. What does the throat actually do?
It makes sound.
It creates vibration. It creates sound waves.
Right.
In almost every major creation myth across the globe, the universe was spoken or sung into existence. In the beginning was the word.
Oh, wow.
String theory suggests that the fundamental constituents of reality are just vibrating strings.
So vibration is everything.
The throat chakra is the engine of creation. By placing the E8 structure right here, the chart is suggesting that when you speak your absolute truth, your vibration literally interacts with the foundational quantum geometry of the universe.
You are manipulating the E8 lattice.
You are manipulating reality itself.
Mind blown. Seriously.
It's heavy.
To wield the power to shape reality with your voice, your ego must undergo the ordeal of death, ensuring you speak from the clarity of the diamond heart, not from the selfish desires of the navel ego.
It is the ultimate fail-safe mechanism of human consciousness.
It's a lock on the door.
You simply cannot access the source code of reality until you have destroyed your own selfishness.
Which brings us completely out of the crucible and into Section 4, the higher geometries of mind.
We're ascending now.
Steps 9 through 11. Surviving the metaphorical death of the ordeal liberates the hero. The chart now maps an ascension into profound cognitive and spiritual realms.
We are moving into the head.
Let's look at Step 9. The text calls this nape of the neck coordination.
Very specific anatomical location.
Yeah, and the visual is the back of a neck and spine connecting to the brainstem. The geometry is a 64 tetrahedron matrix.
Another incredibly complex shape.
The tarot card is Temperance. The astrology is Sagittarius. The musical note introduces tension again at G sharp. And the hero's journey is the reward.
The hero has survived the ordeal.
They made it through the fire.
They've spoken their truth, manipulated the E8 lattice, and been completely reborn. Now they receive the reward.
What is the reward, practically speaking?
In biological terms, the reward is expanded capacity for consciousness.
Okay.
The medulla oblongata, right at the nape of the neck, is the critical gateway between the body and the brain.
It's the information highway.
It coordinates all the incredibly complex, automated systems of physical existence so that the higher mind can be freed up to focus on the abstract.
And the geometry here is staggering. The 64 tetrahedron matrix.
It's a beautiful structure.
I looked at diagrams of this, and it basically looks like a complex 3D version of the flower of life.
It is the three-dimensional manifestation of that exact principle.
Really?
Yes, the visionary architect and systems theorist Buckminster Fuller explored this geometry exhaustively.
Oh, Bucky Fuller.
He called it the isotropic vector matrix.
That's a mouthful.
It is. It is a structure of infinite, perfectly balanced equilibrium. The forces pushing out perfectly match the forces pulling in.
So it's perfectly stable.
Psychologically, it represents the coordination of infinite new realities without losing balance.
Which maps beautifully to the tarot card. Temperance.
Exactly.
Because temperance is the angel pouring water back and forth between two cups, creating perfect synthesis.
Finding the middle way.
The hero has mastered the duality they were so terrified of back in Step 2.
They aren't scared of it anymore.
Right. They can now synthesize profound cosmic truths represented by Sagittarius, the sign of the archer aiming for higher philosophical learning without losing their mind.
They are coordinating the new frequency of the G-sharp note,
They are integrating the metaphysical upgrade. The brainstem is processing the new reality.
which prepares the hardware for Step 10.
Right. Third eye vision. The visual is a stunning cosmic eye floating in fractal space.
Very psychedelic.
Very. The geometry is a rhombic triacontahedron. The tarot card is listed as Shekinah.
A very interesting choice.
The astrology is Capricorn. The musical note is a ringing A. and the hero's journey is the road back.
So much happening here.
Now, I know my tarot pretty well, and Shekinah is not in the standard Rider-Waite deck. Did the creator just invent a card to make their system work?
It's a very perceptive catch on your part, and it's where the creator shifts from strictly mapping existing systems to integrating a profound theological synthesis.
Okay, so what is Shekinah?
Shekinah is a concept from Jewish theology, specifically heavily utilized in Kabbalah.
Got it.
It refers to the settling or the dwelling of the divine presence of God.
The actual presence.
Yes. And crucially, it is almost always conceptualized as the feminine aspect of the divine.
So why rip up the standard tarot deck and insert a Kabbalistic divine feminine concept right here at the third eye?
Because the third eye, the pineal gland, the center of intuition, transcends intellect.
It's beyond logic.
Exactly. Western thought very often equates vision with piercing, aggressive, masculine analysis, hunting for the truth.
Right, figuring it out.
But by placing the Shekinah here, the creator is making a profound statement. True spiritual vision is not an aggressive act at all.
It's not.
No, it is receptive. It is allowing the divine presence to settle within you. You don't stare harder at the universe. You quiet yourself until the universe reveals itself to you.
Wow. Receptivity. Not hunting for the truth, but becoming a vessel for it.
Exactly.
That drastically shifts how we view the geometry here. The rhombic tricantahedron.
Yes, let's look at that shape. It is a convex polyhedron with 30 identical rhombic faces.
30 faces.
It's highly spherical. Imagine your mind having 30 different facets, 30 different windows.
Okay.
If you try to aggressively look out of all 30 windows at once, your ego fractures. You can't process it.
You'd go crazy.
But if you sit in the center, receptive like the Shekinah, you can hold 30 completely different, even competing truths simultaneously without contradiction.
That is true third eye vision.
It is.
But then Joseph Campbell throws a total wrench in it.
How so?
He calls the stage the road back. Why the road back? If you just attain the ultimate 30-faceted vision of the divine, why are you going backwards?
Because enlightenment in a cave is useless.
Oh.
This is a very common trap in spiritual development. The hero receives the ultimate vision and just wants to stay on the mountain forever.
Who wouldn't?
Right, but Capricorn, which is an earth sign, grounds this lofty vision.
It brings it back down to earth.
Capricorn is the builder,
Yeah.
the goat, climbing the rugged mountain of reality. It essentially says, okay, you've seen the divine. Now commit to returning to the ordinary world and build a structure for it. Do the actual work.
You have to bring the vision back to the tribe.
Yes.
And that commitment leads us to the absolute pinnacle of the human form. Step 11, crown chakra enlightenment.
The peak.
The visual is a glowing human head radiating golden light from the top of the skull out into the cosmos. The geometry is the Sri Yantra. The tarot card is the star. The astrology is Aquarius. The musical note is listed as B, and the hero's journey is resurrection.
We have reached the 1,000-petaled lotus at the very top of the head.
The highest point.
In traditional Vedic systems, this is the final step. It is the point where individual consciousness dissolves completely into universal consciousness.
And the geometry selected is the Sri Yantra. If you've ever been to a yoga studio, you've probably seen this on a tapestry on the wall.
Certainly.
It's a series of interlocking triangles, some pointing up, some pointing down, radiating out from a central dot or bindu.
The Sri Yantra is perhaps the most revered and complex geometrical symbol in Hindu Tantra.
What do the triangles mean?
The upward pointing triangles represent Shiva, the masculine cosmic consciousness.
Okay.
The downward pointing triangles represent Shakti, the feminine cosmic energy.
The duality again.
Yes, but here, their interlocking creates the physical universe. It is the visual equivalent of the sacred sound Om. By placing it at the crown chakra, the chart indicates that the human mind has finally integrated all dualities.
And the tarot card is the star.
A beautiful card.
It represents hope, inspiration, and cosmic guidance. The imagery usually shows a figure pouring water from the heavens onto the parched earth.
Which is a perfect literal reflection of Aquarius, the water bearer, pouring the waters of cosmic consciousness down onto humanity.
And the hero's journey matches this peak beautifully. Resurrection.
The ultimate transformation.
The old self died back at the throat chakra ordeal. The hero walked the road back, and here at the crown, the new self is fully resurrected.
They are completely renewed.
They are the master of two worlds, the physical and the spiritual.
Yes.
Now, I need to make a crucial technical note on the music column here.
Ah, yes, the tuning.
The chart lists the note for step 11 as a B. For our music theory listeners, because of how this specific scale resolves, this is functioning as what standard Western notation would call a B-flat. But in German musical notation, a B-flat is just called B. We'll explain the linguistic quirk in a second, but what you really need to know is that a B-flat in the key of C introduces a dominant pulling tension.
Everyone listening needs to keep that musical tension in the front of their mind.
It's important.
Most spiritual systems, most maps of consciousness, they end right here.
They do.
You hit the crown chakra, you achieve resurrection, you become the enlightened Buddha, the credits roll, game over, you won.
But this chart doesn't end.
It does not.
And this leads us to Section 5, escaping the atmosphere.
Leaving the planet.
Steps 12 and 13. Because the source material takes a hard left turn, blowing past the human body entirely into cosmic, intergalactic territory to finish the scale.
It's a huge conceptual leap.
If you are listening to this and rolling your eyes at the idea of intergalactic UFOs connected to your chakras, I get it. I was right there with you.
It sounds like sci-fi.
It does. But stick with us, because the psychological metaphor of what this represents is actually incredibly profound.
It's not about little green men.
Right. It's like beating a video game, watching the credits roll at the crown chakra, and then suddenly the screen flickers and you unlock a secret developer level in deep space.
It's an acknowledgement that human enlightenment is not the ceiling of the universe.
It's just the beginning.
It is merely the threshold to a much larger cosmic ecology.
Let's look at step 12. The text says Vimana Chakra Intergalactic Connection.
Fascinating.
The visual is a classic saucer-shaped UFO hovering over ancient pyramids. The geometry is the great rhombicosito decahedron.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
Not a chance. The tarot card is the moon. The astrology is Pisces. The musical note is listed as H. And the hero's journey is return with the elixir.
We are in deep waters now.
Okay, unpack the word Vimana for us. Ancient aliens, pyramids. How does this fit the deep psychological mapping we've been doing?
We have to separate the modern pop culture ancient aliens trope from the actual ancient texts.
Okay, fair.
In Sanskrit epics from India, Vimanas are described as mythical flying palaces or chariots used by the gods.
Like celestial vehicles?
Metaphorically, a Vimana represents a vehicle of consciousness that transcends the earthly plane entirely.
So we've literally outgrown the physical human blueprint.
Exact.
The crown chakra was the roof of the house. The Vimana chakra is stepping out onto the roof and getting in a spaceship.
That's a great way to picture it. You are no longer bound by planetary gravity or human collective consciousness.
You're free.
The intergalactic connection suggests that the resurrected mind can now interface with the vast, non-human intelligences of the cosmos.
And the geometry required for that is absurdly complex. The great rhombicosito decahedron.
It is an Archimedean solid with 62 faces, squares, hexagons, and decagons.
62 faces.
If the 30-face geometry of the third eye allowed you to hold competing human truths, this 62-face geometry represents the capacity to navigate the multidimensional, paradoxical architecture of the universe itself.
Which explains why the tarot card is the moon.
Yes.
The moon card is about illusions, dreams, the subconscious, and the deep, dark unknown. Space is the ultimate deep, dark unknown.
You can't use a standard map there.
You cannot navigate a 62-dimensional reality with standard human logic. You have to rely entirely on intuition.
And Pisces, the final sign of the zodiac, represents exactly that.
The 2 fish.
The 2 fishes swimming in the vast, boundless ocean of the cosmos. It is the complete dissolution of all boundaries.
And in the hero's journey, this is the return with the elixir.
The ultimate prize.
The elixir isn't a physical magic potion in a bottle. The elixir is the cosmic awareness, the intergalactic perspective brought back to heal the ordinary world.
Exactly.
Now let's address that musical note, H.
Yes, the tension peaks here.
In standard Western music theory, we go A, B, C. But in the German naming convention, what we call B flat is called B, and what we call B natural is called H.
It's a quirk of history.
So step 11 was B flat, step 12 is H, or B natural. It's the leading tone.
It wants to resolve so badly.
The tension is at its absolute agonizing maximum. It is a half step away from the root. It is begging, screaming to resolve.
The entire cosmic journey is just holding its breath.
Which it finally releases in step 13, the final box. Heliomatrix, the sun, the source of life.
We made it.
The visual is a brilliant golden solar mandala. The geometry is Indra's net. The tarot card is the sun. The hero's journey is the treasure. And the musical note resolves perfectly, gloriously, back to C.
The ultimate resolution. We have traveled from the cold vacuum of space at step 0 all the way to the blazing central sun of the system.
The geometry here is honestly my favorite concept on the entire board.
It's profound.
Unpack Indra's net for the listener.
It is a profound philosophical concept from Mahayana Buddhism.
Okay.
Imagine a vast net stretching across the universe in all directions, infinitely.
Like a spider web in space.
At every single node where the threads cross, there's a perfect, multifaceted jewel.
Wow.
And because the jewels are perfectly clear and reflective, if you look closely at any single jewel, you will see the reflection of all the other infinite jewels in the net.
Everything is reflected in everything else.
The part contains the whole, and the whole contains every single part.
It's infinite regression.
It is the ultimate ancient expression of a holographic universe. The heliomatrix implies a universe governed by this brilliant solar network of unified, reflective consciousness.
So you aren't isolated at all.
You are not just a piece of the universe. The entire universe exists within you.
And the tarot card is the sun. Absolute clarity, joy, success, and radiant, unshadowed life.
The hero has found the treasure.
The real treasure.
Not gold, not a crown, but the realization of their place in the solar matrix. They are a jewel in Indra's net, perfectly reflecting the entire cosmos.
That is beautiful.
And harmonically, the agonizing tension of the B natural, the H, slips seamlessly into the C. The octave is complete.
It's beautiful. It's genuinely a staggering piece of conceptual art. To synthesize this whole deep dive, we just traced a map that took us from a literal vacuum in space, the absolute nothingness of potential,
To the starting line.
We descended down into the stubborn mud and terror of human duality on Earth. We fought our way up through the biological drives of survival, tribe, and ego.
We did the work.
We faced the absolute terror of destroying our false self in the vocal cords of the throat chakra, manipulating the physics of reality just by speaking the truth.
The ultimate ordeal.
We ascended into the geometries of the higher mind, and we shot back out the top of our own heads, past the moon, riding a mythical flying chariot into a sun-powered holographic matrix.
Quite the trip.
And it perfectly tracked a musical chromatic scale the entire way.
It is a testament to the human desire to find meaning.
It really is.
Whether you view this chart as literal esoteric truth or simply a magnificent piece of poetic mapping, it succeeds in doing what all great maps do. It gives us a sense of profound orientation in a baffling, terrifying universe.
But I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought to mull over.
Oh, a closing thought.
Something to explore on your own as you go about your day. We talked about how that musical scale resolves.
Right, back to Z.
The chart starts at step 1 with the root note C. It travels up through 12 semitones, and it finally arrives back at C in step 13, the octave.
The completion of the cycle.
But here's the thing about a piano keyboard. When you hit the octave, the keyboard doesn't end.
It does not. The pattern simply repeats.
You don't stop playing. You just begin the exact same scale again, but at a higher pitch.
A higher frequency.
If this entire 14-step journey from the infinite void to intergalactic solar enlightenment is just one octave of the universe's keyboard, what exactly does the next octave look like?
That is the question.
What happens after step 13? Keep diving deep, everyone. We'll catch you next time.